Aha! Are we live? This is exciting. Hello, guys, everybody. Nice to see you. Welcome to our first YouTube live session. This is really fun. Can I just have some confirmation from any of you guys who are on the side to let me know if you can see this, if you are live? That looks hopeful. Hello, everybody. Cool. So welcome to my garden. Social isolation. Fun times. I hope everybody's doing well. There's so many comments. This is great. Yeah, I hope everybody's staying safe. It's been quite nice sunshine here in Somerset. I've been enjoying that in the garden. I really need some more green. I brought out some plants so I can make a jungle. Do you like my jungle? You've got to entertain yourself in these difficult times. Look, this feather. This is fun. Right, anyway, I actually have obviously, if you guys have got any questions as we go along, please pop it in the sides. I'm getting the live feed. I know some of you guys have asked me some things on Instagram and Facebook as well. So we'll have a look at those as we go through. But basically, you guys are essentially going to get a behind the scenes of what really happens when I'm making films. And essentially, my brain doesn't think in a straight line. So for those of you guys who are on Patreon, you will see that my brain does this and this and this and this. And that's probably what it's going to be like today. But, you know, we're going to have a bit of fun, just hang out and spend some time together, because 2020, although it's not quite going to plan, doesn't really matter. The first thing that goes is the plan, right? And the future is always unpredictable. But yeah, so basically all the plans are out the window, but my official keywords for 2020 were community and connection. And so I'm really wanting to focus on those as much as possible today or this year. So there's all sorts of different things I'm put in place. And one of those things has been Patreon. So I know a lot of you guys have been involved with my Patreon community already. I've been doing live sessions with the Patreon people every single month, which is amazing. We do giveaways. We do one-on-one stuff. There's all sorts of different things. And basically the reason why I'm mentioning Patreon right from the word go is because I would not be doing this without the Patreon community. So I just want to say a massive thank you to everyone who's involved in Patreon. If you're interested in getting involved with Patreon, just head to my website. It's www.songfreshproductions.co.uk. Still haven't changed that over to spend more time in the wild yet. And you'll be able to access more information about Patreon. And yeah, we can go from there. So it's really good to see you guys just having fun on the comment section. Whew, it's warm. You know, for me, like the highest temperature I can basically stand is like 12 degrees, and I think it's 13. So, you know, it's game over for me, I'm afraid. Anyway, I wanted to just send you guys some good positive vibes. I know a lot of you guys enjoyed the video I put out on Monday, just sort of talking about some sort of perspective and mindsets that we can put in place with regards to these difficult times that we find ourselves in. They are unprecedented, they are challenging, and I don't want to spend very long dwelling on the whole virus situation, but there are a few things I want to put out there, because I believe there's things that I missed out of the video that I put out on Monday that I'd like to really just have a quick conversation about. So again, Patreon community, I put out a video also, actually yesterday, I think Tuesday. Time has a very strange dimension at the moment. I was talking to my friend earlier. It's like, so what are you doing this week? And they're like, nothing. And I'm like, what am I doing this week? It's like, nothing. It's very strange. But yeah, so basically one thing I really wanted to talk about was social media-ness. So I appreciate that social media can be a very challenging space for a lot of people, myself included. I often say to people, if I wasn't running Spend More Time in the Wild, I wouldn't actually even be on social media. It's just not my scene. But social media is a blessing when used in the right way. And actually during these times when everything is moving online, our connections and our community is moving online, that is interesting. That's where we kind of need to dig in, lean in, and hold on. And I think social media can really help us to do that. It can help us to show up. So I've also felt the strain with social media. I was like, do I really want to be online? Sorry, Bobby is scratching up my leg. I'll bring Bobby in a minute, but he has just had his tea and his belly is very, very bellyish. So I told you, I can't think in a straight line. Everything is like this. So bear with me, but we're having fun, right? I mean, I don't know about you. Where is it? Hopefully you've got a brew and life is good. There we go. It's all that matters. Simple things that matter. So social media, come on, Abbie, focus. Basically, social media can be a very overwhelming space. It can be very intimidating. There's a lot of negativity going out there. A lot of people who have got lots of strong opinions about different things. And that can be quite difficult when we land up on our channel, which is essentially our safe space. You know, it's a place where we can connect with friends and families all around the world. We log on there and suddenly there's someone's opinion like screaming in our face, and that might be right before we go to bed or right when we get up. And I did mention on the video on Monday that is so good. Now you're all talking about tea. I love you guys. Hang on. I love you guys. It makes me very happy. So I talked about boundaries. Now, boundaries are obviously very important when it comes to, I'm proper chilling out with you guys, socks are off. When it comes to watching the news, but it's the same with social media. It can be very tempting to just go, social media, no, I'm done with that. And I think there's definitely a time and place to actually step away from social media. But right now, I think we actually need to step up and lean in, because social media can really help us to show up for the vulnerable, the people who are feeling socially isolated and, you know, in the ways that we don't want, the people that are feeling alone. So actually, if we can be strict with our social media channels, I think they can be an amazing place for us to reach out, to show some love, to show some support, metaphorically offer our hand. Our friends and family can take it, and we can whisk ourselves away into a wonderful imaginary world, because, you know, imagination is a good place to go. So essentially what I'm saying is just a little tip here is, for me, for example, since I don't remember when, but I don't get any social media notifications on my phone. And perhaps I would encourage you to do that. So that's not pinging away on your phone all the time. No sugar for me, Stuart. Nope, no sugar at all. Soya milk all the way as well. Right, social media. So first thing is just watching the notifications that are coming through. But the second thing is basically, what are you going to do about social media? If you are going on there and there's negative stuff, I just want to empower you and give you permission to mute things, to unfollow things, to delete pages. That is your space. That is community. You connect with whoever you want to connect with. You create that space however you want it to be created. And hopefully you can log on there and you can connect with the people that matter to you. You can feel empowered. You can feel safe. You can feel seen. And if you're not feeling that on social media, in my opinion, something is going wrong. So before we crack on with just this fun session of having fun, I just wanted to put that out there, because I know a lot of people are feeling overwhelmed with everything that's going on the internet. And I just want to empower you to take some steps so that you can, basically make sure you're not isolating yourself and you're not leaving other people alone who could potentially need some support there. So that's out the window. No, I'm out the window. No, focus. Okay, and just have a drink. Look at this. This is a nice flask. I got this when I was on the Rob Roy Way. I was sat drying my tent out at a cafe on a lock, and a man comes up to me and gives me this flask. So it's a story behind everything, you know. This plant I bought with a friend before lockdown. This plant I bought, I don't know where I bought that plant. This feather I found on my 21st birthday. So there we go, stories. Anyway, I'm going to get up some questions that I've had on Instagram, and then I'll come back to this feed on Shah. This is where my internet probably doesn't work, because it's like, you're using too much internet power. Let's have a look. Here we go. So, So first question I have got on Instagram, there's just a couple on here, but of course I'll address these questions in a minute. So is, what's your favorite walking / outdoor related books or films? Oh, I love books and films and podcasts. As anybody who's followed my work will know, podcasts are amazing. With regards to books, I would strongly recommend signing up to my newsletter. Little plug there, which is on my website. If you just head onto that, you'll get it on the first page. If not, it'll be on another page. I do a monthly wild read, and we digest that again in our Patreon community. We've got a bit of a book club going on. I basically like books a lot. I'm not going to try and list a real... I can give one of my favorite human beings a plug. Okay, there's a couple of things I'm going to put out here. I love adventure books. So literally anything. We've just finished reading The Sun is a Compass. That was a really cool book about a couple who did this massive, gnarly expedition across Alaska. Oh, I've got a bit of a flare going on there. Whoa, flary. And then, basically any kind of expedition thing I like. Obviously, all the classics like Into the Wild. Can't even think of any classics now, to be honest. My brain is a sieve. I love In This Jungle. I'm just happy about the jungle. And then films. I'm rubbish answering this question. I should have written a list, shouldn't I? I should show you my bookshelf. Okay, guys, here's what I'm going to do. In response to this question, I'll take a picture of some of my favorite books, and I'll put them across my social media pages. There you go. Hopefully that'll answer that for you. So I cheated there, didn't I, really? And the next question is from Adrian, who asks, "Hi, Abbie. As a volunteer ranger in the Peak District National Park, I know how important it is to have a backup plan and to let someone know your plan for the day. This is something you haven't really touched on in your long distance walking videos. What are your emergency plans, and do you always use the same contacts or vary depending on where you are? Cheers. PS, love the videos. Keep up the good work." Boom. Thank you very much for that question. So yeah, emergency escape plans. I'm getting a bit claustrophobic now. It's a bit humid in this jungle, expecting a lemur to jump out and suffocate me. So I don't tend to talk about them too much in the actual documentary films that I produce, and that's because there's so much I always want to put in the films, and it's very difficult to fit everything in. The stuff you actually see that makes the final cut is probably like 5% of the footage I actually film. It takes a long time to edit those films. Hey, well done for arriving 10 minutes late. It's good. Better late than never. That's what I always say. So yes, I always leave an emergency. Well, basically, I always leave my itinerary with about 3 or 4 people because not everybody's always available. So it's good that people have got that. And then I just have a list of contacts on my phone and on a piece of paper in case my phone dies. So with regards to that, and then emergency escape routes and things like that when I'm on the trail, I'm just always very aware. So say I'll be lying in my tent and the next day I know I've got a bit of a ridge to go across. Bobby, what are you doing? Sorry, Bobby's having a moment. Then yes, so I will always, the day before, look at the map, sort of make sure I've got escape routes. I might contact people if I feel like I need to. And that's basically that. And, I think as well, when you're on the trail, what I love about being on the trail, so many things, is that it forces you into a situation where you really have to take control of your life. You're faced much more honestly and significantly with the fact that the decisions you make can sometimes be life and death. And, you have to really get your brain working, which is good. So, I'll basically just be as sensible as I can. And if I feel there's a risk, then potentially I may not take that route, or I'll run it by other people as well. It says, yes, we've got buffering going on. That's a shame. It's possibly because I'm outside and I'm slightly away from our internet. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just scroll up. Oh, here we go. Always the archers. It's just the thing. Quit Facebook is a horrible place. Yeah, it can be, but it can also be a lovely place if you really make it work. Okay, actually, I have a question for you guys. Oh, hey, Anne, nice to see you. I wrote some stuff down. Check me out. Proper prepared for life. So I would like to know what have been or what were your most awkward moments when you've been on the trail. So I'm actually putting together a video for this, and I've got a few things. So I'd like to go through my ideas for me. So please pop in the comments below what the most awkward thing you've ever happened or had happen to you on the trail has been. So for me, I always find, first of all, being stuck behind a big group and you're just like, can I, on a single track trail and you want to try and get past and you can't. And because I'm English, hey, Kevin, so because I'm English, I find it very difficult to be like, excuse me, guys, I want to get, no, what, not with an Australian accent. Excuse me, guys, I want to come through, please. But no, I can't do that. So I just sort of follow along and you're trying to do the whole thing, although now everyone think I'd have coronavirus. And I'll try and sort of get through and then, I'll shimmy past one person, shimmy past another, and then they'll be like, oh, Joel, wait for me. And then it's just like, oh man, groups. So yeah, groups can be a bit difficult. Toileting, somebody's already mentioned that. Yes, going to the toilet on the trail, on a busy trail, can be quite interesting. Although I'm ashamed slightly to admit it, but when you got to go, you got to go. So the TMB gave me the opportunity to really just not be bothered to be caught with my pants down. Let's just be honest here, people. My life. Oh, my life. What is it coming to? So yeah, that can be quite awkward when you're just doing your thing and someone walks around the corner and you're like, sup? And they're like, sup? And just walk on. So okay. Another thing is kissing gates. I find quite awkward. So someone comes up to kissing gate and you're walking to the kissing gate and it's like, it's called a kissing gate. You've got to go all the way, right? Like, and then you get that like look in their eyes and it's like, no eye contact, no. Like, all that can be pretty awkward, but the most funny thing is when you're lost or you feel lost and someone walks up to you, like hiking, like, you're right there. I'm like, yeah, good. And they're like, you know where you are? It's like, yeah, of course I do, mate. Of course I do. And you don't. And then you see them wander off and you're like, is that where I want to go? Do I want to go that way? And then, yeah, so that's fun. Oh, I see some of you guys are saying about being lost. Getting lost on Rannoch Moor and being stuck behind groups who are singing Bob Marley songs. Yeah, because you're on Marley Common. Dude, that sounds kind of fun. Except peace and tranquility. Gonna start walking. Oh, man. Sorry about your painful knee. Painful knees suck. Got an eye for that's, oh man, you guys are amazing. Do you use a Shiwi? Okay, we're going there. No, I don't. Although I'm still trying to master the art of peeing in my sleeping bag. Do you know what? Why not just say it? So yeah, that's something I'm working on. Looking after my sleeping bag as well. Oh, hello. So my co-host has arrived. This is Bobby. Clearly he's keen to be here. Say hi. Hi. So he's just had his food. He's probably going to lie down and digest that for the next 12 hours. Okay, cool. So that's some random stuff there. What else are we talking about? Oh, okay. Oh, I've actually got more serious stuff I wanted to talk about. That's a shame. Oh yeah, bear spray. See, I've never had to deal with any of that stuff with regards to big, scary animals. The most scary thing I've ever seen is my reflection. So, yeah, when I'm on the trail anyway. You know, it's amazing how one rough night in a tent and you can literally age like 20 years. Sometimes I'm looking back for the footage like, seriously? But never mind, it's fine. Just have to like let the ego go when you're on the camera. Have I ever considered to come to Canada? Oh boy, sure have. I sure have. Gosh, I can't talk in a sentence. Canada would be amazing. Walking down Blencathra. Sorry about the train going past. This is real life. Often when I'm filming something and like there's background noise, I just pause, I let it go, and then I rejoin. But told you, behind the scenes, real life. Oh, I love how you guys love Bobby. Oh, feeling the love for Bobby. Bobby, they love you. I'm sorry, he's sleeping. Right, so something I wanted to talk about. I'm getting serious again now, because apparently I can do serious. Just delete the things I've done so I don't go in circles, because I tend to do that. Exercise. So I'm actually quite pumped a little bit when I exercise. About this whole situation thing where we're all stuck at home. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of not niceness about it. It's really, really, really difficult. It's anxiety provoking. It's really hard. But actually, do you know what? If we can get ourselves in a slightly get up and go mindset, this is a fantastic opportunity. So I've been thinking about, obviously I work as a personal trainer, although actually not now because I've just been laid off by my gym. I was talking to my colleague and she was like, you need to say about it in the video that you're being treated very badly. So there we go. That's that. Oh, Penny's come now. Hi, Penny. So yes, so I work as a personal trainer, one-to-one, I did, and teaching different classes. And I think right now it can be really difficult, especially those of us who've got underlying mental health issues. But I think actually the whole world is feeling the strain of mental health right now with regards to this crisis that's going on. It can be very easy to just lie down and let the world wash over us, to just feel exceptionally disempowered. And that's really, really hard. Excuse me. But if you have a space where you can lie down on the floor like a starfish, then you have enough space to do some exercise. And if you can't lie down like a starfish, if you can lie down like this in my jungle, then you can do some exercise. If you can stand up, if you can sit down, if you can lie down, if you can breathe, you can do some exercise. Exercise, don't really like that word actually. Let's throw that out the window along with everything else. So we're talking about movement, physical movement. We're talking about activity. So basically getting up and moving, even just walking to the kitchen to make a brew is basically, is working our body. But essentially, I think that we can use this time to just re-engage with our bodies, get back down to basics. And of course, that's going to really help with our mental health as well. It's going to give us a sense of purpose. It's going to give us some goals, potentially get the whole family involved as well. Oh, remind me camping. Guys, before I wrap this up, please remind me camping. I have an idea that I need to share with you that I've not written down. Yes, so get the family involved. So I'm going to hopefully be doing some live streaming starting from next week, just with some 20-minute HIIT sessions. So HIIT, for those of you who don't know, high intensity interval training. high intensity interval training. Doesn't need to be a scary phase. There's going to be modifications for everybody. Even if you're literally just standing up and sitting down, there's going to be something that everybody can do in that program. Okay. But there's also, you can take it to higher levels so we can keep our bodies moving. So I think right now, I think if you can basically look inwards and be like, what movement do I enjoy? I think most of us are walkers, right? But we're not out walking as much as we used to. It's really important that we can try and keep our bodies moving, keep our bodies fit. And actually, we could possibly get fitter and stronger right now whilst we've got this time sat at home every single day. If we could train once, twice a day, even if it's just 10 minutes, then we can be fit and ready to go once all these bans and things are lifted, these restrictions, and we can get out there and we can enjoy the wild as much as we possibly do or want to. And that's kind of how I'm really trying to see this. So when this whole situation hit, I think like everybody, I was just floored. Been really struggling to manage my anxiety. I'm not going to lie, still dealing with the side effects of an eating disorder, lots of different things going on. And I talk about those in my videos. Really hard to manage that at the moment. But I find that moving my body every single day, as well as being outside, I'm so blessed to have a garden space, and, you know, getting sunlight on my skin, trying to work on my sleep, eating good whole foods, things that we talked about in the video on Monday. All of these things are just helping myself, and I know a lot of other people, to get through the days. We can't really look forwards because we don't know how long we're going to be in this situation for, but actually, let's look at right now. This is a fantastic opportunity to connect with our loved ones, to build forests, to drink tea, to move our body, and to have a bit of fun. Obviously, it's not a holiday. Obviously, it is difficult. Obviously, there are things we need to be abiding by, and it's different all around the world. But moving our bodies. So things we can be doing. Just walking up and down the stairs a couple more times a day. Just doing some walking lunges, doing some squats, doing some press-ups, doing some planks, doing some crunches. Doesn't even have to be your conventional stuff. If you've got a tiny bit of a garden, we have the most beautiful, beautiful weather right now. Although, as we've already discovered, slightly higher than my ideal temperature range. You could be, you know, doing some tennis. If you don't have a tennis set, maybe get a couple of rolling pins and an orange. Oh no, poor orange. That could be messy. I'm thinking on the spot here. This is what happens. So there's lots of things we can be doing, but as well, connecting with nature is super, super important. And just because we can't be getting out on the trail doesn't mean we can't connect with nature. So loving our outdoor plants, feeling the love, bros. You know, as again, getting sunlight on our skin, opening the windows, opening the doors, taking deep breaths wherever possible, getting our hands in the soil. You know, there's some super cool research, I'm just going to geek out a tiny bit here, about this new bacteria that's been discovered in the soil that actually has antidepressant effects. Sorry about the motorbike going past. So that's super cool. Don't even ask me to try to pronounce that bacteria because that's not going to happen. But yeah, a lot of you guys are saying gardening. Gardening is amazing. We have the opportunity to feed our garden birds and to actually observe our garden birds, to learn some new species, to learn the names of the flowers, to watch the clouds, except it's a cloudless day, so possibly not today. To look at the stars in the evening and just see if you can familiarize yourself with the different constellations. There's so many different things that we can be doing to connect with nature, and I really just recommend a quick Google search. But also next Monday I'm going to be putting out a video just talking about how we can connect with nature whilst we're in social isolation. Yes, it is Paramo. Skadoosh. I'd like that to be a big bicep pop, but it doesn't really work like that. There's so many things we can be doing. I just, again, please, please, please feel empowered during this time. Yeah, train on the bike. Exactly. I've got a good old spin bike. I also love my rowing machine. Do whatever works for you, whatever movement empowers you, whatever movement gets you connected with your body, perhaps with others, perhaps with the earth. You know, we can still get out cycling. We can still get out running. We can still get out walking. And there's things we can do so long as we are acting responsibly. And remember, stay wild. What does that mean? So many things, but one of the biggest meanings it holds is that we live not just for ourselves, but also for others. This is about the bigger picture. Let's be responsible. Let's stand up for each other and walk forwards together, because we can only make a difference together. And the time is now. Skadoosh. That's my little thing there. Don't forget camping. I was going to come up to that. Right, guys. Right. This is where I kind of wish I had a beard. No, I really don't. I'm good. Beardless. It's fine. Okay, camping. I would like to share an idea, and I'd love to hear your honest thoughts. Are you ready? Drum roll. It's not that exciting. Well, maybe it is. Okay, so where do I start? I like camping. Did you know that? So I was thinking about this idea that I had. Hey, he's got it. Yeah, so basically I'm thinking... some of you guys might have heard, if you follow me along for a while, that at Christmas time, although I haven't done it for the last 2 years, I created this thing called Advent in a Tent. So I camped out throughout Advent, so obviously December. I love how you guys are already like, this is the idea, this is the idea. I'm like, yes, it is, but I'm telling a story. Advent, so camping out over Christmas throughout Advent to try to raise awareness about a little bit about climate change, about things that we can be doing to give to the earth over Christmas. Obviously, Christmas is traditionally a time for consumption, for materialism. I don't really buy into that. I buy into giving and living as generously as possible and trying to learn English. That's what I'm going to be doing with my social isolation time. So I was thinking of why not? Why don't we do a worldwide camp out? So a worldwide wild camp. So yes, for those of us who've got back gardens or backyards or people that we can do who are within our field, so we can use that outdoor space to pitch up. And I'm thinking, well, I'm going to put some posts out across my social media channel. But essentially, we're going to do a big wild camp. So we're all going to camp out. We're going to do videos and pictures. Whole families can come out. You know, we can cook on the stove if we want to, have a little bonfire if we want to, cuddle the dogs in the tent. Bobby does love camping. Bobby, do you want to go camping? Do you want to go camping? He's like, what? Camping? I like camping. So we've got the seal of approval from Bobby. So yeah, I'm thinking, let's go camping, people. How do you feel about that? Again, community and connection, super, super important. This whole devastating situation doesn't have to stop us from doing the things that we love. So I'm going camping. You guys going to join me? So keep an eye on my social media pages. I'm also going to put some stuff out on my newsletter. It'll probably be in 3 or 4 nights time. I'll live stream it as best as I possibly can, probably make a video as well, so that can go up. But let's just get some positive stuff going. Let's get in our tents. Outdoor kit is yearning to be used. So let's just use it, even if it's in the back garden. So that's that. You can camp on the patio. Exactly. Just make sure you've got a nice squishy roll mat. So I've reached the end of my limited supply of things. So I would like to know, guys, have you got any questions, anything you'd like me to talk about? I know someone just mentioned breath work, so I'm just going to talk about that now whilst I'm buffering myself. See, you guys see a wheel when this is buffering, but actually it's probably just an excuse because I'm buffering. Is it bad that I make myself laugh so much? Oh, this morning I was on my morning walk and I was like scripting I'm still buffering. I was scripting the beginning of this film. I was like, hey guys, welcome to another video. This is our first YouTube live. And just talking out loud because I process things very much out loud. You can join us camping if you're 11. That's fine. I didn't start camping till I was 18. So get out there. Come on, let's all go camping. I'm glad you're having a laugh because I don't think I'm making any sense. So what was I talking about? Oh yeah, I was out walking this morning on my daily allotted morning walk, and just like walk around the corner, and I'm having a proper full-on conversation with myself, and like there's like 3 people, and I'm just like, and they're like, it's like, is this an additional side effect to the virus? I'm like, no, this is just me I'm just on a good day. So yes, so breath work. There you go. Breathing reminded me of that. So I'm not sponsored by any of these companies, okay, but I'm very passionate about mental and physical well-being. As you know, spend more time all about inspiring and empowering individuals to get outside for the benefit of mental and physical health, whilst empowering each other to build meaningful connections with the natural world and with each other. That is what life is all about for me. That's my mission in my life, and spend more time in the wild. Okay, I have so many visions. I have such a big vision for this project. I'm so stoked that you guys are on board with this. So breath work is something that I practice every single day, and I think what I love surely not, absolutely, what I love about this community is so many of us are being open and being vulnerable and honest and authentic about the journeys that we are on with our own mental health. So I just want to say thank you so much for being brave and courageous enough to do that, for being bold and for showing up, because that's what life's about. We don't need masks on. We need to keep our inner bubbles, so the people within our inner circles are safe people, to nurture those relationships, to nurture our relationship with ourselves. And breathwork can really help us do that. It can give us a moment or two just to get centered, to get grounded, to connect in with what we're really feeling. And an app that helps me to do that, and I've talked about this to so many of you guys on my mild walks, and I think I've mentioned it in a video or two, is the app Calm. So I'm loading it up now. Can you see that? So you click it and it says, take a deep breath. Sometimes that's enough. If I turn this brighter, as I say, I'm not sponsored by these guys. I just genuinely love it. So basically, actually, I'm not going to do that. You guys can look at it. So you can get it for free. And then there's a paid subscription, but basically it has daily calms. So it's like a 10-minute meditation, although I tend to just listen to it when I'm walking, and it can be about anything. And it's really good because it feeds us some positivity. Apologies about the helicopter. Some positivity every single day. Then there's things for anxiety. There's things for stress relief. There's things for helping you sleep. There's things for just everything under the sun, like studying, for when you're out walking, mindful eating. There's workshops. There's lots of different things. I hope that helicopter doesn't sound loud to you. It's loud to me. I'm so sensitive to these noises. So yeah, I recommend having a look at the app Calm if you're interested in breath work. And I should do some breath work now. A new breath work practice that I've recently discovered. Oh, those helicopters. Yes, those helicopters. There's always so many helicopters. But I live near Yeovil though, so they always come over from the air thing. So yeah, check out Calm. As I say, not sponsored by them, but another breathwork practice I recently just discovered. I'm always fiddling with my hands. It sort of just helps me feel grounded, just sort of to feel my hands. I kind of lose the feeling in them a lot with dissociation. And yeah, that kind of helps me. But what I was thinking, what I found myself naturally doing was sort of breathing in and circling up my finger, breathing out and going back down, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. And essentially just the 5 deep breaths, but tracing it on my hand. So I'm feeling the sensation of my hand whilst taking those deep breaths with my eyes closed. Sort of really, really helped me. So I recommend just giving that a go. And we will just finish this with a little breath work thing. We'll just do some deep breaths together because I think, why not? We tend to do that with Patreon. Yeah, box breathing is another one. I've mentioned that a few times. So again, I've worked through this with some of my Patreon people. So essentially, box breathing is when you breathe in for 4 counts, you hold for 4, you breathe out for 4, and then you hold for 4. It's quite difficult when you're walking because I tend to suffocate. I'm a very shallow breather. But there's so many different breathwork techniques. Sometimes even just breathing in and in your head saying in and breathing out and then saying out. That can be enough for people. Yeah, there's so many different techniques. So if you've got one that you'd like to try or you'd like me to try towards the end of this, I'm probably going to go for another 20 minutes or so. Then happy to do that. That'll be fun. So let's go through some of these questions. We like questions. Questions, yeah, questions. Okay. It's kind of like funny because I forget that this is live and you guys are seeing me. So it's fine. Yeah, that 5 stages of quarantine is quite a funny video. So I had a question. Where's the question? Do you carry a knife, whistle, scream machine? What have I not heard of that before? I usually carry a knife. There's a whistle on my sternum belt clip, you know, and you pick it up and go, so it whistles. So I use that. So the knife is more so I can chop up oranges or something if I get them on the trail, because there's no place for violence in the world. So yes, I carry a knife for that sense. Or if I'm actually going to be doing proper bushcraft stuff, then I'll carry a bigger knife. So that answers that. Where would you like to spend more time in the wild in 5 years' time? Whew, that's a question. How long you got, people? I have big visions for the project, but essentially I'd like to build a team. I'd like to build the community. I'd like to build the following. And basically I want to change as many lives as possible. I want to set people free from the chains that are holding them back. I want to see them flourish into who they really are. I want to give them access to the outdoors. I want to empower people to speak up, be authentic, show up. I want to build the conversation around mental health. And oh man, so many things. Just feeling the love. So I don't really want to go into my full business plan because that'll get businessy. And this is not a business meeting. This is hanging out. This is why I don't drink caffeine. This is me on, what is this, day 3 of no caffeine? I don't need caffeine. And Waitrose have stopped doing their coffee now, so it's kind of sad. What kind of bird feathers is it you have there? This is a peacock, female peacock. In my hair somewhere, I have a buzzard because I like buzzards. Yeah, I had another question. Will you be doing any group walks in the Lakes or Northumberland? Lake District, I had one planned in May, but I've not put that up because I don't know what the deal is in May. I've still got the 2 walks up for the end of May, but I'm sort of just keeping an eye on that. Obviously no one knows what the situation is. Abbie, you like biking too? Yes, I do. I would love to bring mountain biking to the channel. My key aim at the moment is to really diversify the channel. And again, all of the plans are out the window at the moment, but at the moment is the key word, key words, key sentence. So yes, biking. I do a bit of road biking on a not road bike. It's a hybrid bike, actually, gifted to me by a very good friend. He's called Blue, and we've done some nice cycles, and that was fun. So cycle touring, I have many plans to bring that to the channel. I've already had some conversations in the going, but not sure where it's going right now. But yes, keep an eye out. Bike packing and mountain biking will be on the channel very soon, because again, it's all accessing the wild. I think different people enjoy different things. I want to be pushing myself outside of my comfort zone. And actually a lot of the videos this year, once we get onto them again, are essentially, there's probably going to be a lot of me crying, having panic attacks, freaking out, curling up on the floor in the fetal position, and then freaking out because potentially I'm on sand. So I just really want to face my fears. I want to put myself in a very vulnerable position and show that the power of having a support network, being surrounded by love, by living in hope, and tuning into yourself, that you can step through, that you can get through these things. There's so much more on the other side of fear, and I don't want to live my life crippled by fear. So a lot of the things I'm doing this year are trying to push me to the other side of fear. Whose idea was this? So Ben Nevis, for example, was an idea with that, the one I did in January. So other questions we have got. How long have you been a person of faith? God, I read that without reading it. Since I was 13 years old. There you go. And I can do a video on that if you'd like to. But that tends to be something I explore on the talks, that I do in different places, just because it's kind of the beginnings of me, and therefore the beginnings of spend more time in the wild. Abbie, have you considered forming a real rather than virtual community? Yes, I have. Again, that was in the plans for this year, but potentially not now. Stay tuned. Did you like the 2 Miles Way? Yes, I did. It's a good trail. More t-shirts for sale. Yep, the t-shirts will be up later this year. So I usually offer them through the Kickstarter page, which I'm really thankful I didn't launch because obviously now all those plans are out the window. Yes, at the moment our printing place, well, the place that supplies the t-shirts is shut, and my friend is obviously in social isolation, so she can't print them. But again, once all this lifted, t-shirts will be available. Any plans to head back to the Peak District? There's plans for everything, my friend. Plans for everything. Time. Yeah, I will be back in the Peak District at some point. I'm not sure if that'll happen this year though. Probably next year. Maybe towards November time I might head up there. What's your favorite deep space? What? I don't know anything about space. I'm really sorry about that. Right, scrolling. Oh, hang on, my scroll has died. No. Oh, okay, we're back. Oh, I'm loving the emojis. Okay, can you tell us about your necklace? Yes, I can. So I recommend watching The Bear Away because I give you the full spiel. But just to basically say, was in my 20, I don't even know. I'm old now, 23. 20-something birthday, I got a knife making course to do some blacksmithing because I've always said if spend more time in the wild doesn't work out, then I will go and become a humble blacksmith in the woods. So I went and made some knives, and a blacksmith knife, for those of you who don't know, give it a quick Google. It's like a swirl, and then it goes, so this is the top, and then it loops around. So you hold it like a knife. So I can see it. I have a very visual imagination. And the swirl broke off. So that was, yeah, imagine that was a knife. Obviously it's supposed to be more swirly. And then the knife goes up like that and sort of comes down. It broke. So I made a necklace out of it. That's the story with the necklace. It's not some sacred totem. Although I do like it because it reminds me that I'm being forged every single day. Just had to get that in there. How are you dealing with planning longer walks when you don't know when we will get out again? That's a good question. I'm just planning them because it doesn't really matter when things start if you at least know your itinerary. So, for example, let me have an example. On the list at some point is the North Downs Way. I feel like I can reveal that. If not, it's out there now. So the North Downs Way, I don't even know where it starts or ends, but essentially it's like 6 days, I think I worked out. and I can still work out where I'm going to camp next day, next day, next day. So I've got that itinerary. So all I basically need to do, once these bans are lifted, and I cannot encourage you to do this enough, use this as an opportunity. If you're suddenly finding yourself with good food, stay hydrated, do all that, get it in every single day, and then bit by bit by bit each day, hopefully we'll find ourselves lifting up a little bit. Then when we're lifting up a little bit, hopefully that brain fog is going to dissipate a tiny weeny bit, and then we can start to focus on the things that we're passionate about, and that is getting outside the benefit of mental and physical health. We might not be able to get outside quite as much as we'd like to right now, but let's plan for it. So again, once these bans are lifted, we can shoot on out and we can do the things that we love. So with regards to planning your walks, plan them like it's going to happen sometime very soon, because it is. I mean, again, don't know when soon is. Soon is a very ambiguous word. That's fine. But essentially, you know, get your itinerary sorted out. Obviously, you can't be looking at flights, you can't be looking at transport, but just know, you know, this day I'm going to walk this day I'm going to walk this, and so on. Get the maps out, have some fun time. I was looking at a map this morning on Walk Highlands, and just worked out where I'm going to wild camp. So that's ready to go. That walk is now good. As soon as the ban is lifted, I'm off doing that. So that's all I can encourage you to do with that is just look forwards and get ready, because the time is going to come when we are free again. So let's embrace it. Yeah, let's do it. Are you going to teach us the Irish flute? You might not want me to do that. I can't actually read music. I play everything by ear. So I don't think I'd be a very good music teacher. Sorry about that. Would you walk in Nottingham Forest? That would be quite fun. I'd like to do that. I know you love the mountains, but ever thought of doing one really different, like the different, I can't even say it, nine way through the fens? Could be good as a gentle one. Apparently I can't read right now. Between more challenging ones. Yeah, there's so many places I would love to go. If it's outside, I'd like to go there, essentially. So thank you for that comment. Oh, I'm lost. I'm lost in the massive words. Here we go. Right. Apologies about this, people. Trying to read. Wow, you play the Irish flute. I do. Don't get your hopes up. What paste do you use? What toothpaste? Lidl's. There you go. Good old Lidl's. Oh, here's a point. Has anybody got wild garlic out yet? Because I was out in February. Why does this happen to me? February, and I can still get it on my one daily walk. So definitely have a look at my making wild pesto video, because that's really fun. Wild garlic pesto video. You could do that with your family. And actually, again, I'm going to be putting, oh my gosh, so many ideas. I'm going to be putting together lots of different videos, starting from tomorrow, looking at, again, things that we can be doing whilst we're stuck in the house or stuck in just our little local area, to you know, get the whole family involved and have some good times. Let's create some memories, people. Okay, what backpacking meals do you take with you? It depends. I use, I can't remember what they're called now. It's green. Real Termat. There you go. They're a good brand. I like those because they do a lot of vegan options. And as many of you know, I'm plant-based as much as I possibly can be for ethical reasons. So, there's a fly in my, I'm plant-based until now. There's a fly in my brew. Yeah, Real Termat. Is it tent meals or adventure meals? Summit to Eat. Essentially, the ones that I know have got a good ethical background. Summit to Eat's quite a small company, although obviously they produce a lot of food. But they do it all well. In fact, if you listen to the Outdoor Station podcast, there you go. There's a really cool, I can't remember when it was a while ago, but I was listening to it about Summit to Eat. He had a chat with them and how they sort of produce all the food and taste check it. And that was really fun listening to that, sort of hearing the behind the scenes of the dehydrated foods. But essentially, if I'm somewhere that's civilized, you know, as often as possible, I'll pick up fresh food. You know, on the Tour de Mont Blanc, I carried one mash and pack. I am a lover of couscous. I'm not sure I would dare cold soak it though. So couscous, but yeah, like I was picking up all sorts of fresh stuff wherever I possibly could. So hopefully that answers that question. Oh, no wild garlic in Arizona. Fair point. You could probably make like wild cactus pesto or something. I don't know. Do you have cactuses? Any thoughts of ways to include and inspire children? Yes, so many ways in Spend More Time in the Wild. I have a lot of ways, and actually a lot of the videos hopefully I'm going to be putting out in the next couple of weeks. Kids can get involved with. It's going to be a lot of hands-on stuff, back to basics. Again, really, really believe in the power of simplicity. I think our lives are so overcomplicated, and I think that's a major source of our anxiety and stress that we feel every single day. So yeah, hopefully I can. And I think actually, let's just talk about this. I think children are, I mean, I like puppies, let's just be honest, but kids are great because they have so much to teach us in terms of how to see the world, the innocence and the joy and the inspiration that they gain from the colors and the animals. And don't get me wrong, like there's a big situation right now with, you know, kids just getting stuck on screen time. But I think if we're completely honest with ourselves, we're all a bit stuck on screens. I'm on a screen right now. We're all on screens. So guys, do me a favor. Once this is done, go breathe in some fresh air. So yeah, kids, I think, can teach us a lot. And I think it's really important, as much as we possibly can. And I think the outside really helps us to do this, to tap into our inner child, like sense of awe and wonder every single day. And nature can really help us do that. What's the furthest you've ever traveled in one single day? I'm presuming that's by foot as opposed to by car or plane or train even, or skateboard, because I did used to skate, you know, people. Oh, that would be a funny video. Yeah, I used to skate when I was a kid. Should I just get my skateboard out and show you what I can remember? Oh God, I'm not doing that. Furthest I traveled, I think it was about 35 miles, I think I walked. I'm game to up that, to be honest with you. What courses? No, have you taken courses on how to eat wild plants other than berries? I have not taken courses. I read books. I like books. What's your favorite video you have ever made? Now there's a question. I'm very, very, very proud of my Tour de Mont Blanc video. I can't even say it. It makes me emotional. That trip is so, it's just life-changing, and I think about it every single day. Kilimanjaro when I was 14, no it wasn't, in 2014 I was 18. That really that changed my life as well. But the Tour de Mont Blanc, the honest truth of that is, even the morning before I was due to get on the flight, I was ready to press the button to pull the whole thing because of where my mental health was at. And then getting on the plane and flying out there and knowing that, right, I'm on my own now, in a really, really vulnerable space. And then pulling through that, and then not only walking it in the set days that I you know, I was supposed to walk it in 9 days. Most people take about 11, but I actually did it in 7 days. And it was hard. It was hard. Like, my mental health was so bad. You look at my diary and it's like, whoa. But like, at the same time, I loved it, and it pulled me out of myself, and it gave me opportunities to reflect. The landscape inspired me on every single day. I can't even tell you. And the shot where I wild camp on the Swiss-Italian border, and the sun comes up in the morning, I have a picture of that. And those of you, again, who are a part of Patreon or who have bought t-shirts from me when I've had the sales, I always send a handwritten card to everybody, and one of those is that picture. And actually on my actual I think it's on Facebook as well. The actual picture is that sunrise picture, the title. And that moment where the sun came up, like, I think about that every single day. And in fact, every moment the sun comes up, it reminds me of that. And it was just the accumulation of just realizing how much human potential lies within us all, like what we can really achieve. Again, what's on the other side of fear? Yeah, it was just, maybe I should do a video about that, because I'm lacking intellectual words right now. But TMB, definitely my most proud video. But there's a pride in all of it, because it takes a lot of work to edit the films. I think a lot of people think that I spend my whole life walking, but I really don't. I spend it in front of a computer editing. So we've just got here the name of the podcast for the Summit to Eat, or the number of the podcast. So it's I can't even read numbers right now. 484. So number 484 on the Outdoor Station podcast. That's the one with the Summit to Eat. And if you'd like to hear my interview on the Outdoor Station podcast, it's number 502. So do check that out. Real blessing to have that opportunity to share some thoughts about mental health and the outdoors. So it's funny, you guys are all about, Yeah, skateboarding. Right, what else have we got? Oh yeah, talent show, flute skateboarding. Am I going to walk the whole Southwest Coastal Path one day? I don't know. I thought about that a lot, actually. My friend Anne, some of you guys, in fact, next week's video, or at some point it'll come out. If you followed on my Facebook page, you saw that a couple of weeks ago, my friend Anne and I headed up to Dartmoor and got absolutely soaked. So Anne's the one I met on the coast to coast. So please do follow her on Instagram. It's at it's at thistle_dragon. So follow her because she walked the Southwest Coastal Path, then she walked Lansing to John O'Groats, and she's just walked every single trail. And that was like her warming up for last year. So that got me thinking about the Southwest Coastal Path. But I think I want to walk things like the Pembrokeshire Coastal Path first, because I've walked pretty much all of the Southwest Coastal Path, just not in one go. And I'm all about the new stuff at the moment. So the Pembrokeshire Coastal Path is probably, if we're talking coastal paths, up there a little bit more. Okay, we're running out of time, man. In fact, we're not, because I'm in charge. Power. Right. 1 hour till sunrise. Sunrise? Is it? How long have I been talking for? Yeah, everything's been cancelled. It sucks. But we're all in it together, you know? And again, we've got this amazing opportunity. So let's use it to do things that we perhaps hadn't prioritized, that perhaps the earth is saying we should be prioritizing. Okay, have we got any more questions, folks? Never say never. Oh no, that's not what that says. Oh, dearie me, lost my mind. Campsite. Do you usually just rock up? Oh, I lost it. Oh no, I didn't. Or do you book them ahead? So it varies, to be honest with you. I usually ring ahead. So again, let's go back to the North Downs Way example. So if I walk that at some point in the future, whenever the future may be, then I will ring the campsites. I'll say, do I need to pay ahead, or can I just turn up? And usually they're like, just turn up. But of course, summer months, you've got all the DV groups and stuff, especially around here. So it's usually best just to ring up and let them know that you are coming. Okay, what's your favorite place in the Lake District? Whew, that's a question. Next question is cool as well. Favorite place in the lakes? I just love the lakes, just the whole Lake District. I've been there every single year of most of my life. It's very big. I love Buttermere. I love Haystacks. I love Skiddaw, Scarfell Pike. I just love it all, to be honest. It's just the vibe there. I can't talk about the Lake District too much. It gets me a bit emotional. So just the Lake District. Special place. Abbie, do you see yourself as a highly sensitive person? I've been thinking about this a lot recently, and yes, I do. And I actually feel quite privileged to be a highly sensitive person. Sometimes I get very annoyed at myself, and I do think the sensitivity does make me vulnerable with my mental health. But I think that more and more sensitive people are finding their feet in the world, where actually it's in the past not been okay to be sensitive. I think sensitive people, crows have got something to say about it, can lead the way in a lot of things. What am I trying to say here? Trying to accumulate some thoughts. Yes, I think I'm a sensitive person. And I'm trying to really own that. I'm trying to love myself through it. I'm trying to understand where I may be vulnerable with those sensitivities. And I'm trying to grow in them, and I'm trying to use those to empower me and propel me forwards, because they mean I can really come down to earth, which is good. I like nature, but it also means I can meet people where they're at. And yeah, you have to go for a bit of a ride, but it means you can really sit with people through difficult times. And yeah, there's a lot of positives to being a sensitive person. I'm actually putting together some thoughts about that. Again, I have so many videos to make. So watch this space, because I have real thoughts about, I think the sensitive people, you know, in past cultures would have been the prophets and the shamans, you know, looking into the future and understanding that we have a role and responsibility on this earth, to feel the pain that the planet is going through with the whole climate change stuff and the marine debris and the bleaching of the corals and X, Y, and Z. And like, I feel that every single day. And it makes me want to rise up and fight. And there's a fire within me that is obviously birthed through that sensitivity, because I can't just turn off the noise. I can't turn my back to the role and responsibility that I have as a blessed human being, or a human being who is so blessed to be on this earth. And I want to play a role, and I don't want to just exist. I want to really, really live. And living for me means giving back. It means playing my part. Yeah, many things. Okay, so last 5 minutes. What happened to your acto? It's in the attic at the moment. Any plans to do the Pennine Way at some point? Do you have any plans to walk any of the Camino routes? No plans at the moment, but it's certainly in the back of my mind to look into the Camino, because I've just talked about how I feel doing things perhaps that are slightly outside of my comfort zone. Not a big fan of that phrase, but things that can push me to the other side of fear. It's not that I'm afraid of the Camino, but it's a very, very different experience in the fact that every single day, you know, you're staying in the Camino huts or whatever they're called. I should ask my dad because he did the Camino. What are they called? Camino hut things. I just want to call them Camino huts. That's really fun to say. I feel like that could be a brand. Welcome to Camino huts. Anyway, yeah, I think it would be a very different experience. And I'm very, very much an introvert, if you want to use that phrase. I enjoy my own space. I enjoy the quiet. I enjoy not talking. Just listening to nature and losing myself in nature and losing myself in my thoughts and my mind. And the Camino, with there being a lot more people about, it would be a very different experience. So yeah, that's some thoughts there. Have you been up Helvellyn? Yes, I have. You can watch the video. It's on the channel. Do you think you'd write a book? I would love to write a book. I think about that every single day as well. I have a massive notes. So watch that space. Does Dave have any more trips planned? Well, he had some ideas, but as with everybody, it's all out the window at the moment. Boris is giving an update. Boris or Abbie, you choose your sides, my friend. I thought that was at 5 o'clock. Do you do any pre or post hike stretches or exercises? That's a question. Not really. Afterwards, I'll usually do some stretching or something because my hamstrings tend to get quite tight. But yeah, obviously when I'm off the trail, I train every single day, as much for my head as anything else. So that is that. Coming to the last few questions. Any plans to free hike like the PCT? I'd love to do the PCT. Trying to decide whether the AT or the PCT should be top of the list. So I'm trying to figure that out. Which trips have you penciled in for when you're free again? Now that, my friend, is yet to be revealed. So, okay, I'm going to... they are refuges, are they? You won't enjoy the snoring in the Camino refuges. So they're not Camino huts then. They are refuges. Oh, that reminds me of the TMB. No, I'm not great with snoring. I mean, Bobby snores enough, so... Okay, so let's wrap this up then, guys. It's been real fun sort of hanging out. Can we have t-shirts which say "What the legit flip"? I'm clearly rubbing off on you. What the legit flip is that? Okay, so let's wrap this up. I want to say, first of all, thank you so much for being here. I'm just going to finish with a tiny little bit of breath work in a minute. But I just want to remind you that you are so important. Why are you important? Because you are here. Why do you matter? Because you are here. You're on the face of the earth. We are blessed to be living in these times. They may be difficult, they may be unprecedented, they may be scary, but this is a community and we are in this together. If you feel alone, you are not alone. And you can tell those feelings to go do one, because you're part of the Spend More Time in the Wild tribe and you matter to me so much. I think about you every single day. You are valued and I love you. And thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of this tribe. Thank you for showing up and living a life true to you. So I would like to be doing these at least once a week. So next Wednesday, you can join us again, 4 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. And we'll hop on board with that. If there's more demand, then maybe I'll do another one in a couple of days because I have plenty of time on my hands right now. And this is fun. This is really nice just to chill out with you guys. So yeah, and obviously please follow on my social media pages. If you are struggling with social media, just drop me a line and we can possibly put together a plan for you that can help you. But don't forget, you're empowered to mute, to block, to unfollow anybody that is not giving you a positive space right now. Social media is a sacred space. Use it to connect, use it to empower, use it to inspire, and hopefully you can stay connected with everything that we're doing through social media. Subscribe to the newsletter, and if you'd like to, please join our Patreon community. You can join for as little as $3 a month and get access to so much more, because we do this every month with Patreon anyway. This probably won't be carrying on once the world go back to normal because work. But yeah, so you can join Patreon. As I say, there's giveaways. There's so many different things going on there. You can get cards, you can get badges, there's merchandise and stuff. It's obviously all ethical. So I just want to put that in there because I cherish my Patreon community so much, and it's such a great opportunity for me to hear what you guys really have to say with regards to keeping the foundation and building the project so much more. Right, I know I said I was wrapping this up, but I am. I have a spin session to go do. So let's do a little bit of breath work. So guys, if you would like to shut your eyes right now, please feel free to do so, because I'm going to, and it's going to feel weird if you're just like looking at me with my eyes shut. Cold cup of tea, living the dream. Okay, so I actually really like doing these breathwork things because I usually need to unwind afterwards anyway. Oh, okay, so everybody, if you want to, just shut your eyes. For some of you, this will probably feel a little bit uncomfortable, especially if you're not doing it. I'm not going to lie, I feel slightly uncomfortable because you're all watching me. But it's all good because we're friends, we're family, right? All right, so this is nice because I've got the sun on my face as well, and I reckon it's just about in my temperature margin right now. So just trying to focus in on the breath. I'm just going to talk, okay? But you guys do what you need to do. So just focus on the breath, just breathing naturally right now. Just trying to feel where you really feel that breath most. So it might be through your nose, it might be in your chest. You might even feel it in your diaphragm, depending on whether you're really breathing nice and deep right now, but just your natural breath, okay? Just focusing in on that. All right, and we're just going to take a minute to take a nice deep breath in. So breathing in now. And then when you're ready, letting that go. Nice and steady, trying to really fill the lungs each time. Breathing in. And then breathing out. Nice deep breath in. And breathing out. And just take another 3 more deep breaths in your own time. Really trying to breathe out as slowly as you can each time. So you're completely in control of that breath. Feel it move through your body. Feeling the oxygen coming in. Filling your lungs. And then feel the air being expelled out as you breathe out. Nice and controlled. And when you reach the end of those 3 breaths, just settle back into your natural pace of breath. Nice and steady. Doesn't hurt to smile. And when you're ready, just open your eyes. How easy was that? Just a couple of deep breaths, just taking that moment to focus on our breath. And we can do that at any point. Even just one deep breath can make a huge difference to our mental well-being. It can drop those cortisol levels so much. And I just encourage you to keep doing that. Every time you feel any overwhelm or any stress throughout the next couple of days, just take a deep breath. You owe it to yourself. And thanks for being here, guys. Right, I'm going to sign off and drink my cold brew. And I wish you all the best. How are we going to finish this? The way we always finish it. Don't forget, guys, stay wild. I'll catch you later. Bye.